For something so scenic and so beautiful, you can't not recommend it to anybody, whether they've been here before or not.
The most surprising thing is how shocked and struck I am by the beauty of this place every time I've come, because it's not my first time here. I've been here a lot, and every time it's just so cool all over again.
I didn't have much ideas other than pictures of Cypress here that I've seen online, and it's just like the tall pine trees, and it's like I'm in Alberta, like I'm in the mountains, but just mountains of grains and like just beautiful nature.
I think the landscape surprised me a lot because it doesn't seem like what would be expected in Saskatchewan, because we're known as a very flat area. But I think you see all these hills in this area, all these trees. It's been a pleasant surprise.
Very good.
I've been in southern Saskatchewan, southwest Saskatchewan quite a lot, and Eastend was somewhere I had never been before, and so that just kind of had its own charm with it.
It's in a really unique geographical area. It's kind of in a valley, and it's sort of like badlandy. It's bad.
I think first and foremost, it's the landscape of Eastend. We have Grasslands National Park, that's basically kind of like the Badlands area, and then close by is Cypress Hills, which is kind of more hills. So Eastend is like the beautiful mixture of this Badlands area and hilly area, which was like absolutely stunning.
Jones Peak, we went there for the sunset, and it was amazing. It's kind of a hidden gem, and it's just like wide open landscape. It's really, really cool. It's yeah, it was a great spot for sunset.
You see layers of different colors. You see the river running through the middle. It's kind of a very wide open Grand Canyon, you could say. You'd be surprised when you get to the top of the peak that the landscape does not seem like it's Saskatchewan at all, like you are on a different planet.
I'm from Saskatoon. I'm used to the flatlands of Saskatchewan. Like, I've driven an hour, 2 hours away from the city. I've seen like a lot of cool things about Saskatchewan, but this is just different. It's just beautiful. The main one for me would be the Conglomerate Cliff. You have to check it out. It's just beautiful, and I would say every part of the trip is just nice. Just take it in. Don't like. There's much to it than just the pine trees. Like, you have to be open to change and like open to like explore and all that. So
I think traveling this year wasn't as different as expected to be. Now, with the global pandemic, I think there are safety precautions along the way. I think it's for everybody's safety, right? So we want to keep open, right? We want to be able to visit all these places and have access to them. So in order for us to do that, we have to go with what's in place. So right now we are dealing with a pandemic, but we can still go out and enjoy the nature while, keeping safe.
Saskatchewan's usually pretty uncrowded and open, so it's still like that. There are some safety measures in place, obviously, for COVID-19.
I think everybody's a little bit anxious to, get out and adventure after, the winter and the spring. And in the end, it's not a whole lot different.
You probably won't notice any difference, but that's because of a good reason. If the safety measures are working, the good point is that you don't notice it. All these businesses are taking their measures very seriously. So you'll see that people actively trying to put their effort towards containing the pandemic.
We had a bit of a challenge. We were out adventuring in the area and got back a little late, lost track of time. And when we got back, all of the restaurants in Cypress Hills were closed, which is on us because we didn't check what time they closed, and we didn't realize they would be closed a little bit earlier these days. So we were very hungry, and luckily the general store was open, and yeah, they were so nice. They hooked us up with some groceries, they helped us cook them. It was really good.
So one of the challenges that we faced is obviously we rely on tech quite a lot these days. So we were using Google Maps. We were trying to go to Conglomerate Hills, and then we mapped it through Google Maps, and but then it took us to a different grid road. And then we ended up in private property, so we had to backtrack quite a bit.
Compared to a lot of other trips that I've done, we didn't just go, check out A, B, C. We just went out exploring, and we set off to find things, and we found them, but there were setbacks, kind of spotty network coverage in and out. We're pretty heavily reliant on technology, and not having it readily available can be frustrating at times. The highlight of this trip for me so far was instantly the mystery rocks. I only found out about them a few days ago, and when I saw them, I knew I wanted to go there so badly.
I mean, the name obviously suggests that there's a mystery to it, and that's for a reason.
We talked about it, we found it on the map, we decided like, hey, we should check this out.
It's not very documented at all, and there's only like 1 or 2 things on the internet about it.
Mystery rocks were not easily accessible. It was one of the more challenging aspects of the trip. We managed to talk to the landowner who was super friendly and cooperative, and not only did she give us permission, but she let us know the best way to get there and some precautions to take just to make sure that we're taking care of the land. It was not expected, but in the end, it was worth that extra work and extra time and seeing something truly unique.
The biggest recommendation I would do is just be open to the idea that, you might find adventure along the way. So, discover, when you stop in a small town, go to these shops, talk to these people. They might tell you a spot to go to, and that's what we had. We weren't aware of Jones Peak, and, somebody had told us to go there, and it was one of the most beautiful places I've seen.
So there's always the main spots that you'd find on the map, and everyone would suggest you, like Conglomerate Hills and the Lookout Point and the Ball Butte. But there's so much potential to look outside of those places, especially Eastend. Eastend isn't far from here. It's only about 50-minute drive from here, and then it's like a whole different world out there. That's a beautiful drive to go up to.
Just the Cypress Hills area in general, there's so much to see outside of the usual landmarks, and you just have to be willing to go and get it. The most surprising thing, I think, for me, never having been here before, was definitely just the sheer beauty of it all. Cypress Hills was fantastic, being able to see such different terrain compared to everywhere else in the province. Eastend, also something completely different and unique compared to every other corner of the province. Just being here and taking it all in and seeing it for the first time was the biggest surprise I could have asked for.
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you.
Actually, we don't need your interview.
I wouldn't say we're friends, but
All right.
I don't know, on Google it's Mr. Stones.
It's Mystery Rocks for sure.
Yeah,
On Google it said Stones.
no,
It's rocks.
Okay, ask me that again.